Hey, we're good. Well, we're gonna be talking about interviewing. Paul and I have been talking about this for a while. Um, on interviewing. So this is not gonna be how to interview. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be looking at interview trends for today. And it's probably gonna amaze you and it's probably gonna make you mad. And probably gonna go, I'm never gonna get a job again, but that's okay, because you will. And so that's what we're gonna be talking about. And my name is Frank Albanese. I guess I should have started that. I'm a workforce consultant. And an all-around nice guy. And this is Paul.
I'm Paul Steensland. I am an information services librarian here at the St. Louis County Library. And I don't know if I'm an all-around nice guy, but I'm an all-around pretty good guy most of the time.
Most of the time, except when he's with me.
Yeah, Frank is a bad influence.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is let's gonna jump right in. Okay, hands aren't working today. So here we go, the realities of today's interviewing process. So I follow a bunch of recruiters. And the recruiters talk to me all the time, and so this is what I gleaned from our recruiting people. This is a gentleman received this when he was invited for an interview. So it says, first of all, instant AI resume triage. All right, our proprietary search engine, and we took out the software name, parses and ranks every individual within 2 seconds. AI generated voice call. So you're going to be called by a bot. All right. Candidates receive an automated phone screen. Responses are transcribed and scored. Sentiment is scored by the LLM or large language model or the bot. Okay. I just recently had one of those. AI proctored coding exercises. So you're going to be given a task if this guy's a software developer. And the AI is going to watch you do it. The thing is, the way that AI protocol is set up, it wants to see your screen first. Then it wants you to set up your phone so that you can project the keyboard, so it knows that you're not trying to Google the answer. Okay. Then a synthetic interview conducts a 15-minute video call with facial analysis algorithms, evaluates focus, micro-expression, and cultural alignment. I don't know what cultural alignment means. Okay, so therein lies the first part of your interview in today's AI world. Then it says, shortlisted candidates will meet with an engineering manager to discuss team fit and other details. Pretty wild, huh? The problem is all application materials, CV, resume, cover letter, code samples must be entirely human authored. If we determine that you used ChatGPT or whatever, you will be eliminated. And then we'll turn your name over to our applicant integrity registry to say you cheated.
They blacklist you.
Yeah.
How do they know? How would they know?
You know,
That is a very good
They
question.
don't even know when kids are cheating in school.
they don't. So a couple of years, not years, well, actually it was last year, beginning of last year, 2024, they had a symposium on AI. And they wrote a computer program that says, we can tell AI. Anything written by AI, we can tell. So I challenged them. I said, okay, I'm going to send you 2 versions of my resume. I need you to tell me which is AI and which isn't. So I sent it to the company and I said, I need you to publish the response. They said, yes, absolutely. We will post it. So we sent it to, I sent them the AI resume that I generated was considered human. my handwritten, not handwritten, but my crafted resume that I had spent months on was determined that it was written by AI. So what do?
Notice also that it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to use AI to evaluate you. And then at the bottom, it says you are not to use AI to try to get a job with us.
Yeah. Now, is this the worst case scenario? Yes. Is this ever gonna happen to anybody? Yes. Will it happen to us? Probably not. Okay, but is this the way corporations are going? I don't know. The company that did this is a small startup style company. I don't think it's gonna pass legalese, in my opinion. It could, but we'll just go from there, okay? Are we having fun?
Yeah.
Okay, experienced. Okay, your interview performance is the number one deciding factor. Today's current job market is competitive across all worlds. Okay, it's really simple. On average, 500 applicants per job. That's the average. And Paul and I discussed that over and over. We spent probably the longest part of our meeting yesterday discussing just this one bullet. I said 500. I think Paul initially had like 100. I actually think it's 3 times that amount on the average job posting right now. Your extensive experience is given. The interview is where you must present that. So when you apply for my job, so I'm an IT recruiter, so when you apply for my job, I've already determined whether you're gonna be a fit. What I'm looking for is, I look at, let's say, 3 software packages, Python, Java, and Linux-based software. So my screening tools will already identify that. What I wanna know now is how and where did you use them? So this second bullet point here talks about what you bring to the table, not what you've done for somebody else. So it's your experience that we are looking for. Analysis shows that hiring managers often make a preliminary decision in the first 60 seconds. And then I just read an article by a top employer here in the metro area, and she said that she'll know within the first 5 minutes of the interview whether she's gonna hire you or not. Okay, so the idea again, in the olden days, which was multiple years, a couple of years ago, this is 2025, so 2023 and earlier, it was all about what you did. Today's world, it's all about what you bring to the table. What information do you possess that my company needs to be successful? Okay? Questions?
Think of it, the old, what can you do for me?
Yeah.
Simple as that. Right?
Yeah, I'm old. 111 years old, I tend to fall. Laugh. If I do fall, don't laugh, just tell me.
As long as you keep talking, we'll be fine.
Yeah. So today's world, is your memory gonna be enough in order to be successful in the interview process? And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about ways to tip that balance. How to successfully manage the next version of interviewing. Okay, traditional preparation methods, what did you all do to prepare for an interview? Nothing, I knew that. Fine. So it's really simple.
Hopefully you came to the St. Louis County Library to research the companies,
Yeah.
maybe like background information.
Call
Look at the LinkedIn
preparation.
profile, look at the hiring managers you would have done.
The idea is the very simplest thing that you need to do are two things. Number one, read the job posting from the very first word to the very last word. And understand what that posting means. All right? Highlight the things on that posting that you feel are important to that employer. The next thing that you need to do is read the resume that you submitted to that job. Read and understand everything you put on that resume. One of my things that I do when I'm interviewing people, at the end of the interview, I'm gonna hand you your resume and I'm gonna go walk me through your resume and point out where your skills are relevant to my job. And 90% of the people I do that to look at their resume and start reading it for the very first time. Okay? And if you're not prepared to start tomorrow, why should I hire you? Right? Absolutely. This passive approach fails to build the muscle memory, just what we talked about. All right, relying solely on this method often leaves your best career stories, accomplishments undiscovered in the entire process. So a little background. I wrote my own AI called Jarvis. All right, and I trained it on workforce solutions. And it works fairly well. So when Paul and I decided to sit down and have this conversation, I went to Jarvis and I gave him the information Paul had provided, and I gave the information that we were looking to present, and I said, Jarvis, write this for us. So what you're seeing is a combination of Jarvis and Gemini, because that's where Paul's expertise is. All right, so if we can do this, obviously you can do this too.
Basically, what Frank is saying is AI wrote this presentation.
Yep.
Based on our knowledge.
Hmm.
But it wrote the presentation, and that's the same model that we're trying to show you how to do, is train whatever AI that you're using with your resume and the job description of the job that you want to apply for. And basically, let AI show you how to apply for this job, how to interview for this job, how to get this job.
Now, is this 100%? In my case, it's hitting in the mid-90s. In Gemini, because we haven't trained Gemini as well as Jarvis, we're probably hitting in the low 80s. So anything that the AI gives you, you need to take it with a lack of knowledge. And then you reformat that to your own words. Okay, to make sure you're providing, and I'm going to tell you, when I went to work for or work with, I just walked out of my head here. That was one of the things that we discussed, was my understanding as a prompt engineer with AI. How can they incorporate AI in their day-to-day operations? 80% of job seekers report a significant interview anxiety. Everybody? Yeah. Yeah, me too. Not really, but I need to be part of the group. Okay. Anxiety is a major performance barrier. How many times have you sat down in an interview and they go, hi, my name is, and you go like this, and you go, well, my name is, and you say, hello. And they go, well, tell me a little bit about yourself, and you forget your name. Or worse, you forget the interviewer's name. Okay, and that's a problem right there. I can't tell you how many times in the hundreds of people I've interviewed, halfway through the interview, I can see the individual is struggling with to remember my name. And I'll go, it's Frank, please write it down.
Did those people get the job?
Actually, most of them almost did. This stress could cause you to forget key examples. Now, the reason we're bringing this to you is because we're gonna teach you how to do this on your own. Okay. Career leading to this will lead to generic answers that often fail to showcase your true capabilities. When I interview somebody, and again, like I told you, I'm gonna give you your resume back. And I'm gonna say, walk me through your resume. And I'm gonna know immediately when you pick it up and you go, oh, my name is, no, I'm just kidding. But you have a blank stare at your resume, which tells me you don't even know what you submitted to me, correct? Say yes, I haven't had that much coffee today, okay? A lack of confidence is often misinterpreted by interviewers as a lack of competence or interested in the role. You have two choices in today's interview strategy. You can walk out with the job, or you can walk out without the job. It's your choice. And so here's the biggest problem that I see when we're developing this strategy is your inability to interview. All right, now, Paul and I are actually going to have a how to interview class. That's coming up in the near future. But what we're gonna do now, today, is tell you how to basically not overcome, but how to train yourself to interview better. We're asking for 15 minutes a day. And that's it. Okay?
When Frank is talking about a lack of confidence, look at it this way. There were 30 spaces in this class that were available for folks to register to be here in person. There are 150 for the online version that we're simulcasting right now. 21 people out of 30 signed up to take this class. 6 of you showed up. So that means there are 24 people, if you count everyone who could have signed up, who aren't receiving what you're receiving today. You have a distinct advantage over them, at least you will by the end of this program. And that's something I'm hoping that gives you a little bit of confidence that you now have an edge over your competition.
As of 2024, 67% of the Fortune 500 companies have integrated AI chatbots into their initial screening process. Like I was telling Paul earlier, I had an interview with a chatbot. I had a phone screen with a chatbot first, and then I had a virtual interview with a chatbot. And the virtual interview went something like this. I logged into the account, and a little avatar came up and said, "Hi, my name is Interviewer. If you have any questions, please ask at any time." So I said, "Hi, Miss," it sounded like a female voice, so I said, "Miss Interviewer, how are you today?" And then the chatbot said, "I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question. Let me start over. Hi, my name is Interviewer. If you have any questions, please ask them at any time." And the chatbot did this 4 times. Before I already had the recruiter on the phone going, "Are you catching this?" And he goes, "That's not supposed to be happening. I don't know what's going on." I said, "End story." Now, again, possibly the worst case scenario, but we know that companies are integrating AI, especially in chatbots. The top people to get laid off in 2024, 2025 has been developers, IT folks. Number 2, HR. Recruiters, HR staff. I can't tell you how many HR people I'm connected to that are sourcing for their next position. Mid-career professionals, people like us, face a 40% longer job search cycle in 2025 fine. The average search time is now 6.2 months. Now, I think some of you have been on the bench longer than that. So you're outside the norm. So now what we need to do is figure out why, right? Hiring, 78% of the hiring managers report using AI tools to evaluate candidate response communication patterns during the interviews. All right, basically, they're looking for micro expressions. They are reading in the chat bot is reading into your answer. Now, should we be concerned about that? To tell you the truth, no. If you understand how the process works, and more importantly, if you dedicate to understanding how the process works. Okay? Questions so far?
Do interviewees have to be told that they're either being recorded or that there's AI watching their?
Typically, when they set up, they will let you know you're being recorded. Now, are they gonna let you know that an AI bot is screening? They may say that the information is being transcribed. And lies that just answered your question. Okay,
So if 78% of companies are using AI to evaluate you, then 100% of us should be using AI to,
evaluate that.
yeah.
And guess what? We're gonna teach you how to do that today. Oh, wait a minute. Did you all bring cookies? Standard interview preparation focuses on human interviewer expectation. AI evaluation can screen out almost 60% of the initial candidates. Again, because we have all been interviewed old school, right? Pick up the phone, somebody calls you, you have a nice conversation versus a bot calling you. My name is interviewer. And then you sit down face to face with several individuals or one individual, multiple individuals, and you have a nice conversation. You're not worried about, did you blink too many times? Did whatever it is, I'm being recorded by a bot. We didn't have to worry about any of that. So being that experienced person, we have to make sure that we are providing structural information and understanding how the process works. 43% report feeling unprepared for AI assistant. Again, that's what Paul and my watch is transcribing me. AI. Companies using AI hiring tools can reject 52% more candidates because of misaligned patterns and the lack of keyword optimization. In other words, again, this is your understanding of the job and projecting what they want versus what you've done. Okay, I've looked at hundreds of resumes. And what I see is you telling me I worked for ABC company and I did this and I did that. I worked for XYZ company and I did this and I did that. Versus I worked for LMNOP and here's what I accomplished while I was there. Okay, that's what I'm looking for as a recruiter. Because what makes you think what you did for LMNOP, you're gonna do for my organization? Maybe the same job title, may have some of the similar duties, but chances are not. Okay,
These numbers may look a little scary. You've got 60% screened out at the top. 52% getting screened out. What we want to do is help you learn the skills that are going to get you in that 40% or 48% of my math is that don't get screened out. I want to show you the skills that will allow you to make the cut.
employers basically say, if you were born with one of these in your hand, you have a job. If you were forced to learn how to use it, I can't use you. So what we have to do is overcome that mentality so that we can present ourselves as the viable candidate. Adopt a free AI assistant as your personal 24/7 interview coach. How many of you thought about doing that? Have you done it? Yeah, did it work? Maybe on a good day?
I usually get to the final interview when I just haven't gotten the job, when
Yeah.
it comes down to that final one.
Think of the free browser-based tools like Gemini as your personal brainstorming partner and practice tools. We are gonna give you the code to do this. Okay, so that's our process. The goal is to use AI to help organize your thoughts and refine your own stories. The tool is for preparation, not a script to be memorized. Okay? AI is basically phenomenal on research. It's like having Paul as your personal assistant. Okay, so what we then have to do is take out what is true knowledge from the AI and what is hallucination. Now, the AIs have gotten a lot better, a less factor of hallucinating or lying to us. Okay, but it's still a problem. This approach helps augment your invaluable experience with modern technology, giving you distinct and powerful preparation advantage. Again, because we're coming from the days of the wall phone, that's me, with a 40-foot cord on it, versus today's phone, which is a microcomputer in your pocket. All right, so we need to understand how this is going to work.
Think of AI as a supplement, not a replacement.
Yes. Platforms like Gemini, ChatGPT, please don't use chat. In my opinion, and I could be wrong, I think I was wrong back in 1849. And Claude can simulate company-specific scenarios with 85% accuracy compared to actual questions. So if you ask a chatbot, we prefer Gemini and Claude. If you ask it to produce these questions, if you give it enough information, it can get fairly close. Are you going to get the exact questions? Not necessarily, but okay, it will get you close. It'll give you the practice that you need to get you over the top. AI practice sessions with AI can reduce and other filler words by up to 45% to help you maintain natural conversation. The feedback identifies weak responses, areas 3 times faster than self-evaluation at no, alone, allowing for highly targeted improvement. Okay.
By the time you sit down with your interview, your hopefully human interview, you will have already had your AI interview 4, 5, 6 times to the point where you'll feel confident. And that's what he's talking about, like removing the ums and the other filler, because you've already done this a number of times. It's fresh in your mind and you're confident about it.
Now, are you going to get 100% of the questions that AI is going to generate? Is the company going to generate them? Probably not. But by understanding what you bring to the table, and you can add your own story base, if a question comes up similar, you have that capability. Okay, you're going to be comfortable. So I've interviewed probably in the last 20 years, 500, 600 times. How many of you interviewed in the last 2 years? I can tell you in the last 2 years alone, probably a good 60, maybe more. And so when we every 2 or 3 years find ourselves having to interview, how many times did we practice interviewing when we were already employed thinking, this is my forever job? And the chances of me finding another. I don't need to practice interviewing, Frank, I've heard that so many times. Then you interview and never mind. Successful candidates for a structure and optimization while ensuring personal experience and authentic voice make up a core of their answers. And so that's literally AI. If they're interviewing you, they're gonna look for that indentation. They're gonna look for those micro expressions. All right, so AI is getting smarter. Is it getting to where it works better than a human? I don't think so, but we have to get by the bot in order to get to the human. And high enhanced preparation is about preserving your individual story while improving delivery. Real simple, clarity, real simple, but most importantly, overall impact. My last interviewer, the CEO was at the table. At the end of the interview, the CEO got up and came over and says, "Congratulations, when can you start?" By answering those last three pieces. Now, am I the best interviewee in the world? I don't know.
Certainly the most experienced.
Yeah. That means I just can't hold a job, isn't it? Strategically, for logistics and research, AI will free up your time to focus on making connections. The number one way to get a job has been and always will be networking. Okay. And this way, if you do get a call by 1-800 company and you do get an interview, what are you gonna do? You're gonna do your research, like Paul indicated. Okay, you're gonna find the people on LinkedIn, connect with them. When I submit a resume to an employer, I do my homework first. I pretend like I'm interviewing them. First of all, I go out and look at the company. Second, I want to know who has already been in that position and why they left. Did they leave and go up? Did they leave and go down? Did they leave and just go laterally? If they went down and they went laterally, is that a good red flag that people are jumping? If they went up, that shows me that there's the ability to climb the proverbial ladder. And then my resume, I make it look like I already work for the company. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start our prompt. Okay, so we're gonna give you, if you, well, y'all didn't bring cookies, so I don't know. We will share this slide deck, okay? So if you registered, we'll make sure that you get a copy of the slide deck. If you don't, reach out to Paul or myself and we'll make sure that you get it.
If you registered through the county library's registration, I have your email address, whether you're in person or virtual. I will send you a copy of these slides.
Yeah. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to Gemini, which is the better of the two between Chat and Gemini. We would recommend you go to Gemini. Based on this job description, suggest 3 strategic questions I can ask a hiring manager about the team's biggest challenges or goals for their next year. So what you're gonna do is you're going to upload the job description. Okay, when you submit this to Gemini. And then Gemini, if you're using 4.0, correct? That's Pro.
Yeah, 2.5 Pro.
Yeah, 2.5 Pro, which is still the free side of Gemini. If you use that, you will get, it will actually go out, take a look at the company, look at the job description, and it will bring back 3 specific questions.
And let me insert just a moment here. We have got databases in the St. Louis County Library that can let you search by industry to see what challenges this industry is facing. So if you're applying for, if you're applying to an IT company, okay, fine. We'll get an IT industry profile. We will show you what are the challenges that the database company has found in that industry, so that will give you a check you can use for what you get from AI.
Absolutely. I'm gonna tell you right now, the worst question you can ask a company, and this is in my opinion, is tell me about your company culture. I've interviewed with hundreds of companies across the Midwest and in Texas and in California and in DC and blah, 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 blah. And not one of those companies is going, we're the worst company to work for. You're gonna hate it. Our managers just micromanage you and put their thumb on your head like this. Never have I seen that. As a matter of fact, the organization that I'm working with now, they gave me a card that has their company culture on it. And they said, whenever you're talking to somebody and they ask about our culture, you need to memorize this card. So why, if I'm only allowed to ask 3 or 4, maybe 5 questions, why would I say, tell me your company culture, and you're gonna read a card to me?
It's kind of like the old joke about man's walking along, sees a bottle, rubs a bottle, out pops the genie. The genie says, I will give you 3 wishes. Are you gonna waste one of your wishes on the genie? Tell me about the genie company culture.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna ask for a box of cookies.
With macadamia nuts.
Yeah, with macadamia nuts. So this is gonna identify your ability to be engaged into the company. Now, one proviso, the company goes, did you use AI for this? And you go, no, I use the library's resource services. Which, that's what you're using today, right? Ta-da. Now, the average prompt, so that's in bold, that most job seekers use is a prompt that's less than 9 words long. The average prompt that I design to use is anywhere from 20 to 90 words long. Because I want to give enough information that the bot or the chatbot, large language model LLM, has to make a value-added decision. The more information you give it, the better the results you're gonna get.
Sometimes Frank scans a dictionary.
I know, because I sent Paul one, and Paul's going, no, I can do this in Gemini in 3 words. Yeah, let's compare. Prompt 2. Copy the job description and the summary of your resume. Now, my recommendation is never put any PII, personal identifiable information. So what I do is I take my resume, strip off all the personal, no name, no address. Well, address shouldn't be on your resume anyway. No name, no contact information, no email address, no LinkedIn, no nothing like that. Strip it off. And then save it as a PDF and label it test resume and the name of the job. And that's what I'm going to upload to the large language model or the live version, Jarvis. And then we're going to recommend Gemini because we've tested these on Gemini. Help me craft a compelling 90-second tell me about yourself that connects my experience in project management to worldwide technology. Okay. And then again, you're going to attach your resume, your stripped down version of your resume, and the job description. All right. This will help you pinpoint your relative skills. Because again, remember, it's all about me, the organization. Yes, it's about you esoterically, but it's about me. Confident, polished opening sets a positive tone. That's one of the questions that I hate the most is when I'm interviewing is looking at, okay, tell me about yourself. Well, I have a dog named Spot and I went to Parkway West and I did this and I have a car and it's red and it has a horn that goes beep, beep. Oh, that's so funny. No, I want to know what you bring to my table. And by doing this, it's going to give you the ability. The other thing is, how many times have you gone to a networking event and they go, give me your 30-second elevator speech? So first of all, I hate elevator speeches. They don't work. Why? Number one, you don't practice. Number two, still you're not practicing. And number three, obviously, you still haven't practiced. What I do is, hi, my name is Frank.
Hi, Frank.
I'm a software developer. I have a background in Lua, Python, and Java. Does your company happen to utilize somebody with those skills?
Well, actually, I run a garbage collection firm. Basically what we do is we have a truck, we have a bunch of guys that pick up garbage from the street, put it in their truck.
I know, but who handles your software to manage your trucks? Who handles, and, we're having a conversation. Notice, even though he's got this wonderful business that makes millions and millions of our tax dollars, okay, we're having a conversation. When I was recruiting full-time for an organization, what I did is people would come up to me at hiring events and they would check, hi, my name is Bill, and then start wandering with this 30-second elevator speech that was 7 to 9 minutes long. They hand me their resume and you notice I'm not paying attention. Why? You can't even do that successfully. What makes you think you can do my job? And they'll go, are you hiring? And I'm gonna say, no.
Mhm.
What's your next question? Versus, I'm a software developer. My specialty is Python, Java, Lua. Does your company happen to use those skills? What did we just define? Those skills. Worldwide Tech, same thing. I'm a senior project manager, full life cycle. Finance, preparation, whiteboarding, blah, 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 blah. Guy goes, wow. He goes, you're overqualified for this job. I said, great, I don't want to work anyway.
Frank has a busier retirement than most folks have careers.
That's it. So questions. We're building your confidence. So what we've done is we've identified competencies with the first prompt. Second prompt, we're starting to build you to the next level. Okay, you having fun? Say yes.
Yeah.
What if the job description is very generic, like some of the jobs that I have read, it's like, I'm looking like project management, it's very generic, like know your life cycle, no. But it's not really like focusing on what the company is about, just looking for a generic job description.
So what I see that a lot too, because it's just a canned
Yeah,
description. I use that and then I point the company or my bot to their LinkedIn profile, the company's profile. And the bot will go out
like
and,
URL of it.
yeah, I point him to that. And then the bot, if trained appropriately, will go out and scan that and pull out, yeah. Okay.
But when he says body, he means your AI.
AI,
language
so
model.
Gemini, now ChatGPT doesn't do that very well, but we know we did it yesterday, Gemini does very well, and so does Claude, which is. All right, so let's set up a mock interview, okay? So we're gonna give you the prompt. And here's the entire prompt, you're an experience, and again, we're gonna share this with you. With a realistic conducting an interview, you need to fill in the blanks. What's the name of the job? Project manager, name of the company, Worldwide Tech, job description. You put in the full job description. Okay, you copy and paste. Candidate, again, that's you. You copy and paste your resume without PII. All right, no personal identifiable information. And then, is this a phone screen, a technical, a behavioral, a panel, or a final round? Okay. Then these are the instructions for the chat for Gemini. Start with a brief introduction as the interviewer. So it's going to tell you about itself. All right. Ask 5 to 7 relevant questions based on the role and the candidate's background. So it's using the job and your resume. And as a recruiter, when I'm interviewing you, I'm doing the same thing. All right. This is just going to be in the comfort of your home. Provide realistic follow-up questions based on the response. Now, we did find a glitch, and I'm going to have to redo this. It should stop and let you answer the question before it, and this works in Jarvis, but it didn't seem to work very well in Gemini. So I'm going to have to redo this, but don't worry about it. We'll get that out to you. Give constructive feedback. And then this is the style of the interview. Professional yet conversational. Matching the company culture and seniority level of the position. Okay. Questions? Can you all do that? Yes?
Are those all prompts?
No, it's one prompt. The whole thing, the previous page,
Okay.
this starts the prompt. And then you're continuing with this. This is the end of the prompt.
All
When you
under
see position,
All under
one chat, yes. It's one prompt. Now, if you forget something, Claude will come back and say, oh, I need the LinkedIn URL, or I need this, or I need that. Gemini, we found, actually Gemini does it too when we tested it the other day on Gemini. Okay. You look,
All right, so
Unsure.
prompts are just the position title, the company name, the job description.
no, the whole thing. You see where it starts with you
Uh,
and ends
Oh,
with
okay.
position,
thing.
all of it,
that.
both slides. Yeah, not the headlines
I see,
or title slides, but everything in between the you and position.
okay.
Maybe for next time we'll put mock interview prompt continue.
Well, we should, but
Next time.
we're a couple of guys.
Yeah, you know, we're just, I mean, we made this up yesterday.
Yeah.
You didn't even make it up, hang on, did.
Well, I mean,
No, not these prompts.
Oh,
I wrote the prompts and Paul made sure that they worked. And then he would ask questions, and so we redeveloped the prompt. You know, this is a symbiotic relationship making this work. Okay, questions on this? Can you do it? Say yes.
yes.
sure, why not?
What we're doing is we're asking you to invest in yourself, 15 minutes daily. Commit to a daily 15-minute AI mock interview session. So you run your prompt, put in your job, put in your company, and then follow through. We're gonna only ask 5 to 7 questions. Now, the original version asked 10. Not only did it ask 10, but it gave you 5 minutes to answer. And at the end of the 5 minutes, it went to the next question and would not allow you to go back and finish in the answer. So do y'all want that version? Just say no.
I would.
Yeah, well, I told Paul about that and he's like looking at me like, I don't think so. Identify and use AI to analyze openings. And optimize 3 or 5 professional stories. So we've already given you those 2 things to do. Before each interview, implement an AI-powered research on the company's recent performance and interviewer's professional background. So, two things. I'm writing this prompt for the last one now. So basically, like I told you, when I apply for a job, I want to look like I'm already working for this company. So what if I could give you a prompt that will help you do that too? Yes? I'll get more cookies.
Maybe one cookie next time.
Okay? So that's our next strategy, and Paul and I are working on that as we move forward. So questions so far?
Notice it says AI powered research. You can back up the research that you get with AI with resources from the St. Louis County Library.
Absolutely.
We have got resources that AI can't access because they require St. Louis County Library cards. All that data that's in the databases that we subscribe to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. AI can't touch that stuff because it's proprietary. So use the data that we've got you to back up your AI powered research.
And again, we're asking for 15 minutes daily. So if you came and booked a librarian, let's say, and you use that as part of your weekly strategy, you know, that would solidify what you're bringing to the table. Library resources. Paul.
All right, so how many of you are actively using the St. Louis County Library resources in your interviewing process right now? All right, we got one. Well, we got Frank, you know, he's always interviewing, so we got two. We got 2 out of 6 or 2 out of 7, not exactly 50%. So let me show you what we have available to you. If I had the entire hour, I would give you details about each of these, but let's look at e-learning software. Has anyone used Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, or Coursera before? Did you pay for it? If you're shaking your head, good, because you shouldn't be paid for it. We have access to Udemy and LinkedIn Learning, no charge. We have access to some elements of Coursera, but not the entire course package, but we do have some of it. So these are e-courses you can take similar to what we're doing today. You took us for an hour, you can take a 40-hour how to use AI in your job hunting process. 40 hours. Frank was talking 15 minutes a day. Well, here's 40 hours. That's a lot of little 15 minutes. But either way, we can show you how to use these tools. We've got databases, in addition to what I'm showing you right here, that can help you create lists of companies, any industry, any geographic area in the US. And that's free, and you can do that from home with your library card. That's a resource called Reference Solutions. We've got industry databases that will help you answer a lot of these questions that you have about industry challenges. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. Let AI give you that information, but check that with verified information from the databases that you're subscribing to with the tax money that you give the St. Louis County Library if you live in the county. Gemini AI, that's the AI tool that we use here at the county library. Us librarians have access to Gemini Pro, which offers something incredibly wonderful called deep research, as in 30-page research papers on a topic. I have gorged myself on a lot of those, just preparing for programs, things like that. And then finally, we have the crown jewel, Book a Librarian. This is where we will sit down with you one-on-one and show you how to use these resources. Everything that we've talked about today, We can show you specifically for you. You sit down with one of us, it's not going to be a generic, well, here is how to use Udemy. It's going to be, oh, what are you looking to learn? All right, fine. Let me show you the resources, the e-courses that Udemy has that can help you answer your questions. So that's what we can provide for you, all for free. We can do a book library in person, any St. Louis County Library location, or we can do it over Zoom, whatever you prefer.
The biggest piece of the puzzle is though that each one of these courses that we've talked about, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, have AI learning classes. And I'm gonna tell you right now, 47% of the jobs posted since January have had some form of AI requirement. Now, do you have to be an expert? I'm a prompt engineer. I'm not an expert yet. I'm supposed to be. But if you have a working knowledge of that you can put on your LinkedIn profile, that you can add to your resume, that will make it better for you. That's gonna move you to the top of the class versus, oh, you weren't born with one of these in your hand. We have to go from there. Okay? And again, library's offering them. No charge, you still get the cert, you can add it to your LinkedIn profile, you can add it to your resume. And that's what it's all about in today's world. Program managers? Absolutely.
Any final questions for us?
I mean, I came to one of the, it wasn't quite a book library, but it was an open office hours essentially, and the
Mhm.
guy I talked with showed me how log in, you can get to a place where you can actually connect to the human and they will do an interview with you.
Yes, that's called Job Now. It's just JOBNOW. And which, the full name of it is, let's see, I'm blanking on the full name of it, but let me escape out of here and get to library's homepage and show you how to get to Job Now. The easy way, just go where it says search the catalog, click website, type in Job Now. Yeah, Brainfuse Job Now.
Yeah.
Click on Brainfuse Job Now.
We got a group of people waiting.
I agree. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today, both those of you in person and those of you in, and this will be going up on YouTube, hopefully sometime soon. So enjoy it there too, but have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining us.
If you have any questions, did you get my card?
I have your information,
Okay.
but I do wanna talk to you about the.
Okay, so let's step out there, we can talk.